Hey, what's going on? It's Ian Hart here, and this presentation is how to make prospects sell themselves to you. Now, this is specific to my fitness business. I had gyms, and I'll go a little bit into my background, but anybody can use this for almost any service business. And I see people missing the boat on this all the time, anywhere I go. And if you do not have this one simple thing down, you are going to miss out on, you're going to lose money and you won't have the potential to make more money. So literally the gap could be millions and millions of dollars. So you do not want to miss out on this simple thing. And I see all businesses missing out all the time, and that's why they're not successful. So if you don't know me, my name is Ian Hart. I'm the creator of two fitness systems that have generated over $30 million. We've serviced over 1 million sessions. And yeah, so I've been in the game for a while, and I'm going to give you one simple script that has made us millions of dollars. It's the first point of contact, the most important thing when meeting with a prospect or a lead. And so, who am I and why listen to me? Well, I kind of went over that, so I want to get into me. But basically, I'm the creator of EarthFit Systems. We've done over $20 million in revenue, and Back Pain Relief for Life, which has done this is like actually a presentation from 5 years ago that I did with the Bold conference for Mind Body, where I got to speak with on stage, share the same stage with people like Magic Johnson, Arrington Huffington. So this is an older presentation, but I wanted to kind of update it a little bit. So anyways, Relief for Life is something that is specific for back pain relief that has been in over 130 countries, and we're now teaching this to gyms to bolt onto their business. I also have a treehouse in Costa Rica where I host fitness retreats. And so that's a little bit about me. Obviously, that's the quick version. But if you learn and use the techniques that I share with you today, you will get the type of client you want, which is extremely important, right? You want specific clients. That should be your ideal. You should have an avatar. I'll get into that in a second. And you'll have happier clients who pay more and promote your business like crazy. You'll have more demand for your product and services. You'll have the knowledge to refine your businesses and your clients that you attract, etc. So if you learn and use these techniques, you'll avoid tire kickers, time wasters, energy vampires, expending your valuable time and energy, feeling lost and unfocused, hiring employees that are not in line with your results and mission, endless hours of money on things that are not in your vision. So the bottom line is you'll avoid wasting millions of dollars, and you will make way more money with just this one simple tool. And do not underestimate the power of this, because it's pretty amazing. So, but before you can make a prospect sell themselves to you, you have to do the foundational work. You first have to have a business built around the type of person you want to attract to your services. So you have to know, who do you want to serve? What makes you come alive? What is the avatar? If you do not have those specifics, then that has to be done first before you can actually do what I'm going to tell you about and implement what I'm going to tell you about. So if we know who we want as clients, then shouldn't we interview our clients like we do when we hire our employees? So I'll repeat that, because this is extremely powerful. If you know who you want as a client, then shouldn't we interview clients like we do when we hire our employees? If you create a product or service that people want and they're coming to, then you are the gatekeeper, and you want to screen who you have coming into your business. And that's what we would do with our fitness business. And so first, you got to create the avatar if you haven't done that. So if you don't know who your audience is, you're pissing into the wind. That's a quote by Dan Meredith, and it's very true, because you're going to be lost. So you want to answer these questions for a good start. What's your avatar's biggest pain points? What are their daily struggles and frustrations? What language do they speak in? Where do they hang out online? Who do they follow? What have they previously tried and failed at? What income bracket do they fall under? You want to know all those things. So here's the question. What always happens in the end when you bring in a client that doesn't really want what you have to offer, when they don't align with your morals, your vision, etc., or the exact client looking for your services? Well, you create what's called detractors. and detractors will ruin your business. So there's a huge caveat and prerequisite for this. You must have an awesome service or product before you can implement this. This presentation is assuming you have an awesome service or product already. If you don't, then go back to the drawing board and recreate a service or product to make it amazing and cater to the avatar's needs and wants so that it becomes an amazing thing. And you can do that by some of the stuff I share with you today. And that's the first step is the ultimate question. And the ultimate question is a book. And what they figured out, there's one survey question that matters. It's the only thing that really, really matters. And that question is, would you recommend this product, brand, company to your friends or family? Or how likely are you to recommend this product to your friends and colleagues? And the scale is on a 1 to 10 scale. 0 being not likely at all, 10 being very likely. So if it is not a 9 or a 10, from almost the majority of all your clients, you will have a tough future ahead. So you can see the projection of where you're going to be. And sometimes people are addicted to bad profits. So first, get your business to a 9 or 10, then you can start to attract the people that you want and then screen your clients. So you have to get to a 9 or a 10 from these questions. So you have to figure out, how do I get to a 9 or a 10? That's your job as a business owner, is how do I create a service that solves a problem that makes these people's lives better, that they know they want to come to this place. So promoters, they're the 9s and the 10s. They're your ideal merchants. They're very satisfied. They'll trumpet your product or service any chance they get. They're users who actively market your product by getting behind it. They will promote your business without you asking for it. Now, if you ask them to do it, they'll do it even more and better. 7 or 8s, they're passively satisfied customer. They're kind of in between. They could be turned into a detractor very quickly, but you could also turn them into a promoter. 0 through 6, they're detractors. They're fairly unsatisfied with you, most likely to leave for a competing service and product, and they complain and they ruin your other customers, and they bring promoters down into passively satisfied because their negativity. And there's some people that no matter what you do, you'll never satisfy them. So you want to keep those people away. And through the next script that I show you, you will screen these people to see who they are. And are they going to follow your business? Are they going to toe the line when it comes to your policies and your conduct, etc.? So the ultimate question then suggests the following methodology to analyze the results. Your promoters minus your detractors equals your effective promoters. So what you want to do, and if you want to message me, I can actually send you the survey that we sent out. We just use Google Docs, and I used to do this every single year for my training business, and we'd get the feedback. And just so you know, we had 10s across the board for the first 4 to 5 years. That's why we never did any marketing. We didn't have to. People were begging to come into the doors. So that's the kind of business that you want to create. Now, the reason why I say first 4 to 5 years is I started to step out. And so things start to get watered down. So I'd have to step in and kind of make sure everything would be better. But then we created systems. And the systems is what makes the business run. And so as the owner steps out, typically things get to water down. But if you get right people, the right systems, that's where you can explode. And we started to expand and open up other locations, and every location was crushing it too without me. And so this is how we figured out the perfect business model. This is how we figured out how to maximize EarthFit's systems for success, where people were making $100,000 in profit the first year without any ad spend. That's how powerful these systems are. And Relief for Life is bolted on to add extra 6 figures in profit to these businesses just by some of these methods here. So many businesses and owners are addicted to bad profits, short-term earnings, but they alienate customers, creating legions of detractors who complain loudly and switch to a competitor. The ultimate question measures the net promoters and help improve them, create a community of passionate advocates. We all know a business that is addicted to bad profits. You've probably dealt with them repeatedly, and then you got sick of them and you left. And people vote with their feet, they vote with their dollars. They walk out the store and they say, screw this store, I'm not coming back. That is a detractor. You don't want those. And you don't even want somebody speaking bad about your business, because they tell on average 11 people. So if you encounter a detractor, there's a way to diffuse that, to turn it into a positive, that they feel good about leaving your business and you feel good about them leaving your business, without creating an angry person that's going to say that business did this and you know the whole deal. So you cannot afford to miss this if you are a growth-minded leader. If you're creating detractors, you cannot afford in a small town to have negative talk about you. Your job is to prevent it and keep everybody that's coming into your business super happy. And if there is any negativity, you overcome it and make the person feel like they won in the end. So the trap scenario, a prospect. Oops, I hope I didn't. Oh, there we go. Prospect calls or walks in and starts asking you questions about your prices and services. What is different about your place? How much is it? Why is this a trap? Well, it's a trap because no one wants to be sold. They love to buy, but they don't want to be sold. And so what happens originally is people try to sell. Now, when I first opened up my training facilities, I was working for big training facilities, and I've run training departments for large corporate gyms in New York City. And then I opened up my own location, and I had no idea how to get customers. And so when people would walk in and ask what we do, I'd try to sell. I'd say, oh, well, we just moved from New York and I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist and we do this, that, and the other thing. They don't care. You probably know that already. They do not care. And as soon as I start saying those things, they step away slowly and they say, oh, okay, thanks. And then they're gone and they're disappeared. And I've lost an opportunity because I didn't know how to handle the situation until I figured out a powerful solution that makes the prospect sell themselves to me. And so that's what you want your prospect to do. And then you go from there. So people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. Now, imagine instead of, like I just told you, I would try to sell, like tell them all these amazing things about us and my business, and that would scare them away. Now imagine asking your prospect questions that automatically make them assume that you have the solution without trying to sell them anything. If you have a service that is a 9 or a 10 and they've heard great things from a promoter, this process becomes way, way easier and faster and more profitable because they're already primed for becoming a client before you made first contact with them. So the conversions go up to way higher percentages. You can get way more money and your business is way more profitable. So here's exactly what we do upon first contact. First off, they have to know what it is that you're doing, right? So this is specific for gyms or training facilities, right? So I had a training facility and people would call and ask questions. And I would say, hey, we're a personal training facility. Is that something you're interested in? And they'd say, oh, I was just looking for a gym. And I'd say, oh, okay, well, we're personal training only. So if you want just a gym, I would recommend this place down the street. If you're ever interested in personal training, you know where to find us. But yeah, a gym would be this place. So now we've done goodwill to them. We told them exactly right away. We didn't try to sell them because we don't want to sell them. We don't want them as a client. And so now they're going to think, oh, wow, that place is awesome. They referred me to another gym and now I'm on their mind. And now they know we're a personal training facility. Now maybe they're going to tell other people. So these are how to handle these situations gracefully. So that's the first question. We now didn't waste any more time with this person asking questions because they could ask tons of questions. And then all of a sudden you find out they're just looking for a gym and they don't want personal training, right? So you have to figure that out for your business. What's the question that needs to be asked? So the first thing we do, so let me just go straight to the script. So this is the script we would use. It would be through email if a person walked in, or the phone. We call this the phone script because a lot of times we get phone calls, but if somebody walked in, every single one of our trainers needed to know this script off the top of their head. It's super simple. It's basically a sales script in question format, and this is done with powerful psychology, and I'll explain the psychology behind each question. So we say, hey, thank you for calling EarFit. The caller will ask for more info on the programs, pricing, or something along those lines. And we'll ask, how did you hear about us? And then we put that in the tracker so we know where the lead is coming from. We'd ask, the email and phone number in case we get disconnected. And then we'd say, we're personal training facilities. That's something you're interested in. And they say yes or no. So now we've funneled them in a way. We've gotten rid of somebody who would have wasted maybe 5 to 10 minutes of our time that is not interested in our service. So they say yes. Okay. So we say, okay, great. The first thing we do is ask a few questions to make sure our program is a good fit for you. Do you have a few minutes? So this is extremely powerful because we're not trying to sell them. And as soon as we ask this question, their guard goes down because we are asking the questions to see if they're a good fit. So once their guard is down, now we can ask them questions that will get them to open up. And these are powerful, valuable questions that they have never been asked and possibly have never considered. And so there's value in this conversation right away. We're offering coaching questions to get to the next step. And the coaching questions can have the ability to change their life or tap into something that they never thought about. So we say, what's your full name, email, number in case we get disconnected, right? Those are just standard stuff. For first question, what is your main goal? What do you want to achieve from training? So they'll say something like, I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to get leaner, etc. So we say, what's the biggest challenge with trying to lose 50 pounds and get leaner on your own? And you want to spit back what they told you. One, that's a powerful technique for helping in the sales process and persuasion, but it shows that you're paying attention and listening, which is the actual sales process. So this is now the sales letter. We find out what the problem is. We're going to agitate the problem, and that in their mind is going to tell them subconsciously why they need you. So they say the biggest challenge is the 50 pounds, right? So we ask to agitate the problem and to get more information out of them. Are there any health issues that are being caused by being 50 pounds overweight, not being in the shape that you want to be? They're going to say, yes, I'm tired all the time. I can't play with my kids. I feel like a failure. I feel just disgusting. And so now you've agitated the problem. That's the reason why they need you. And they need to actually verbalize it. So you kind of repeat it back to them. Okay, so you're just not feeling really good. You're very tired, lethargic. Yeah. Okay. You're not saying anything else. Anytime a trainer would try to put something else of their own into it, it would throw the whole thing off, and this thing can go in many different directions. The whole point is that you want to control the conversation. So when a prospect calls, you're in control. This is what I forgot to go over. So when they call you, they're going to, I want to know about the prices. I want to know about this. I want to know about that. And you're going to say, oh, great. The first thing we do is ask a few questions to make sure you're a good fit for the program. Do you have a few minutes? And then they're going to say, well, I just want to know. It's like, well, we ask these questions to see if you'd be good fit. And then they say, well, I just want to know the prices. And you say, well, we don't know because we don't know where you're at. And then if they are not compliant with answering the questions here, how good do you think they're going to be listening to directions with training? They're not. So that's when we say, hey, no problem. If we can't, ask the questions, this probably wouldn't be a good fit for you because, like I said, we have a tailored program and we want to know what you need and what you're looking for based on that information. Then I can give you more information, right? So back to the questions. So now we've asked what the problem is. We've agitated the problem. Now we have to create a vision for the future without talking about it. So we say, okay, so you're not feeling too good. So where would you like to see yourself in 6 months to a year from now if you were training consistently? Now they have to look up and to the right because this is a part of the brain, or up and to the left, that creates the vision of what they want to see in the future. And you want to actually get them to visualize it. You do not want to skip this step, because if you know anything about how the brain works, the seed of the vision is what actually creates the momentum for them taking the action to get the result. So it's the vision that is sparked that is very powerful. And so it has to be asked to the point where they're actually visualizing themselves achieving the goal. So where would you like to see yourself in 6 months to a year from now? How would you picture yourself? Like, what do you want to see? You want to get those questions so that they're thinking, well, I want to see myself in a six-pack. Now they start visualizing themselves with a six-pack. That is the sales process, and that's how powerful it is without selling them. So they're going to assume that you have the answer. So then we say, okay, say we were able to get you to lose 50 pounds and you were leaner and you felt more energized and you just felt better. What would that do for you? Like, how would that change your life? And this is the real reason why they're in your facility. They didn't really come to lose 50 pounds. It's because they feel like crap and they want to feel better. Like the losing 50 pounds is part of it, but that's not really the answer. So when they say, well, I guess I would have more confidence, I'd have more self-esteem, I'd be happier. That's the reason why they came in. They want to be happier. They want more confidence. And so that, just asking those questions in a coaching manner, you've now provided them with a lot of value. They're going to assume that you have way more value to offer if the first 5-minute interactions revealed a lot to them, right? So these are extremely powerful answers. And just to show you, question 5 is so powerful that I've had a client when I'm doing a testimonial and success story, and I say, okay, what specific results have you achieved? And he's going, oh, well, I just feel better. I have more energy. And I would go, and I'm just stronger, and my life is better. And I would go, and he would go, and I go, David, you lost 80 pounds. And he would go, oh yeah, I lost 80 pounds. I wasn't even thinking about that, because that's just, I know I wanted to lose weight, but really I just wanted to feel better. So that is how powerful these questions are. You're getting to the root of the real reason behind why they don't even know why they want to come in. They think it's because they want to lose weight. They don't really want to lose weight. That's a byproduct, but they want to feel better. They want to feel better about themselves. Now, an optional question is, what do you think would happen if you didn't start a training routine now? This depends on the person, and this comes with years of sales practice, but this would be something that you would ask after question 2 or question 3, because you want to get them to realize if they don't take action now, the problem's only going to get worse and worse and worse, right? So sometimes I find that question is not necessary. So it really depends on the person. So if the caller qualifies, meaning they were easily gone through the process, they were, not combative or abrasive or irritating, etc., and they fit what it is that you have to offer. For example, if the person said, I said, what's your goal? And they said, oh, I want to put on 70 pounds of muscle and be like a bodybuilder. I would have said, hey, you know what? That's an awesome goal, but we don't do that here. We actually are optimal health and fitness for maximizing lean muscle and fat burning. And so if you want to build muscle, I would recommend maybe this trainer down the road. He does bodybuilding, and that would be a perfect fit for you. We don't do the bodybuilding, and you're probably not going to put on 20 pounds of muscle. You put on lean muscle, but it's not going to be bodybuilding type, right? So they'd say, oh, okay, well, I appreciate that. Thanks. So now you didn't waste the time, and now you did them a good thing, and you had done a disservice by taking them into your facility. And then after 4 weeks, they're like, hey, man, I'm actually losing muscle, or I'm like leaning out and I wanted to bulk up, right? So now you know your prospect, you know your avatar, you know who you're targeting. So if the caller qualifies, great. Based on the information that you gave me, you would be a good fit for the program. And the next step is to set up an assessment. Okay, this is extremely important how it is actually said. based on the information. It's not my opinion, right? You leave your ego out of it, because if you say, oh yeah, I think you'd be a good fit for the program, now your ego is involved and they're thinking like, well, is it you making the decision? So it's based on the information that you gave me, you would be a good fit for the program. And the next step is to set up an assessment. The assessment we go over, and now this is extremely important. Maybe you can figure out this for your own business, but this is how we get people to pay a lot of money just for the assessment. So we get money for the assessment, and then usually a minimum of $300 and something after the assessment. A lot of times we get $500, $600, $700 at the assessment. So you guys have heard of Alex Hormozi. He talked about getting $500 up front. I've been doing that since 2010, and I haven't been using tricks and tactics and sales gimmicks, etc., to get the money. I've been using a strong foundation of a good business to get that without any ads. That's how powerful this is. So just want to add, if you want to learn more about how we've done this, you can hop on a call. We have, hop on a call with me, or you can watch the next video that I share about some of our programs that we use. So anyways, if the caller qualifies, we go through this. Let me just break it down for you. So I want you to think about this. There's a sales technique called a stack, and it tells you all the things you're going to get. And so the value is built up. And so when someone asks for money and the cost is low, they're going to say, oh, I'll pay that definitely, right? So we'd say, great, based on the information that you gave me, you would be a good fit for the program. And the next step is to set up an assessment. In the assessment, we go over medical history, health history, fitness history, nutrition history. We have an advanced technological machine which graphs out lean muscle mass, your body composition, your basal metabolic rate. And then we do a functional movement screen to make sure you're moving correctly and not promoting injury. And then we do a strength and endurance test, which is like a one-on-one training session to assess your current fitness level. Then we review the results and we recommend which program works for you. The assessment takes roughly an hour and costs about $85. What time generally works best for your schedule, right? And then we pull up the schedule. We already labeled the cost. They didn't ask, boom. Now here's the question. If I told you we're going to go through an assessment that does medical history, health history, fitness history, nutrition history, technological machine, functional movement screen, strength and endurance test, and then we review your results. Okay. In-body machine, people charge $100 just to do that. A one-on-one training session typically costs $70 to $100, or depending on where you're at, right? A movement analysis plus the medical history, all that, I'm conveying that this should be worth hundreds of dollars. So when I say it's $85, the person should go, oh, no problem. $85, I get all that. They're not missing out on anything. Like, even if they decide not to do the program, they still got an awesome feedback. They got coaching, they got value, right? So we go, the assessment takes roughly an hour. It costs $85. What time generally works best for your schedule? And then you pull up the schedule. We used MindBody, and then I book them in the schedule. And then the rest is kind of SOP, standard operating procedure. We take all this thing down, information, name, date of birth, phone, email, and then we get to, okay, great. How would you like to pay for that? You can do debit card, credit card. We take payment over the phone to book that specific time slot. And they say, oh, can I pay you when I get there? No, sorry, we're super busy, and we have to block this spot out. So we take payment over the phone. And then they usually will go, oh, okay. Now, this qualifies the person as a buyer, and most likely they will sign up. So every once in a while, we have a person that says, oh, my credit card's in the car and I can't get it. And we say, oh, okay, well, I can wait for you to go grab it. And they're like, oh, well, I can't. And then I'm like, all right, well, no problem. Just call back when you get it. And that happens rarely. Like, typically, everybody that was calling, because they already knew our reputation, they were easily signing up for the assessment, paying the $85, and then the conversions are 90 to 100% conversions of the sale, of some type of sale, right? So this is our process. During the assessment, then we'd have a pricing, this is, again, like I did I did this presentation 6 years ago. So we upped our prices and we've changed a lot since then. Like for my back pain relief for life program, I'd meet with somebody for $150 just for a consultation, right? And that's a program that other gyms can bolt on. This is a system that if they learn, they can tap in to 80% of the market that is suffering from back pain, rather than marketing to the only 4% that every other gym is marketing to. So if they don't qualify for the program, if they give you a hard time, they were rude, they didn't comply, in that case, you just tell them thank you, but based on that information you provided, this is probably not a good fit for you. You might be a good fit for X, Y, and Z, right? If people are asking about pricing and they really force the issue on pricing, we would tell them a range, because for our group training, and again, like now we charge $35 per session minimum for group training. That's we used to tell them it's between $20 and $50, right? And we'd say 20, but that's because if they paid in full for a whole year, we would add 2 extra months. We'd give them 2 extra months, and it would break it down at that point in time to about 20 something, low $20 per session. So again, it depended on what program they joined, how much they paid up front, etc. So waitlisting, when we got too busy, we used to waitlist people. And so this is the power of just one script system that we use to generate over $30 million in revenue. So this just goes to show you, if you don't have a system like this, the gap of the amount of money you're missing out on is so massive. One, it's a perception thing. You are now changing the perception of value upon instant contact. You're getting rid of the people that don't fit into your program, so you're not wasting time, effort, energy, etc. You're going to have better alignment with employees, because your core group of clients are going to be a specific type of person, so your employees will match those people's energy or they won't. And so it'll be a very specific thing. And then you have more control over your business. You have more control over like what you ask your clients, what you get from your clients, because they'll be in a certain category. They're going to be a certain avatar. So what you're going to know what they like, what they don't like, and it makes everything easier. So was that valuable and helpful? I hope it was valuable and helpful. Now, what if I revealed one simple method that will allow you to tap into a massive untapped market that 97% of fitness professionals are completely missing out on? I talked about it a little bit before, but this population makes up 85% of the population. And if you could solve that one problem, these people will happily hand you cash and they will become referral machines. If you don't believe me, watch the next presentation that I have. But gym owners I see missing out on tens of thousands of dollars every month by not knowing this one simple method. And if a gym or a trainer learns this one simple method, they can skyrocket their profits and their value goes up. And it might sound too good to be true, but we have an average, top 100 clients have an average of 30,400. We have a 20,000 all the way up to 80,000 lifetime value for our top 100 clients, because they stay with us for 5 to 10 years and they're spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year. And so in the next video, I'll share with you this specific thing that bring in 20 to 30 high profit, high retention clients every month. And most of it is done through referrals. So click the link below. I'll post it below, and then you can watch the next video. And if you want, you can hop on a call with us. And we can go over the next steps of where you're at with your business, where you're looking to go, and again, closing the gap of how to get there. So you can increase your profits. You can get in line with your avatar and have more freedom. That's really what this is about. That's what it was about for me. I have the freedom to do whatever I want now because I set up the systems. I set up the proper business model. And now it gave me the freedom. So the discipline gave me the freedom. So if you'd like to learn more about that, specifically how to bolt on that one Relief for Life program to your business to add an extra 6 figures easily, go ahead and click that link below and watch the video. Have a great day.